Hello, I'm Melissa and I run Fresh Blooming Clothing on eBay. I've been over there for about 26 years, and this is going to be one of our nice long shipping videos. I think this is number 102, which means yes, I've made 101 of these. This is the 102nd. So it is about eBay today. We will be wrapping and shipping through eBay, and the first item that sold I've had over 2.5 years, and it just sold for, it's an Alex and Ani, which I always tell people, like, don't really pick these up anymore, but this is headed to somebody called Carla. Hi Carla, in Pennsylvania. And the little charm says aloha, and sure enough, brand new with tags. It's a gold, and these have the kind of adjustable, expendable. So now we have to find, just gonna put it in plastic first, and that way nothing will get in moisture wise. It is, oh, my husband's birthday is tomorrow. Somebody remind me. He is over there in his room, and I don't want to spoil his surprise. Okay, there we go. So now it's in plastic, little plastic bag and some bubble wrap. That way none of the charms or anything mishmash get broken in the mail. Let's see, this is a tropical blue. We could definitely do the water marble. We could also do, I think, the butterflies. I think I'm going to do the butterflies, and that way the poly mailer of like the tropical flowers. This will be a nice, not exact representation of Hawaii, let's be honest, but something pretty. She doesn't live in Hawaii, she lives in Pennsylvania. So I wonder if Hawaii means something special to her, or she's going to be giving it as a gift or taking a trip. Today was one of those days that I woke up, I showered immediately, I did all of the things. I was like, who is this person? I very rarely have that amount of energy. And then, like, I took my meds, I ate, I made myself actual food, and then about an hour later, there it goes. There goes the energy. I needed to lay down. And I did for about 2 hours. Okay, we actually have fun and different kinds of, even metallic. We'll use the metallic on this. Ribbons. Last time I thought I forgot to bring the ribbons out. They were just hiding. This time we're going to go with a gold. It's just up at my mom's house. I had listed 4 boxes of items for her, and I just finished listing them late last night, and she looked at them today and did the little tweaks that she needs to. And so she took them from drafts. That's where I put them, always on drafts first, so she can just check. And she changed a bit of one or mentioned something about another. And then 3 things sold. So she's like, do you mind dropping off? And I'm like, of course not. I don't mind that at all. So that was good to see her. Okay, so here's what it looks like before all of the inspirational cards. We are doing stay close to people who feel like sunshine. We don't use this card very often. This one is a throwaway. Dance like no one is watching, because they are not. They are on their phones. This is an inspirational quote more than a haha kind of, you know. And the You Are Enough, my classic. And it says I am enough on the back. I say throwaway because they printed them incorrectly, and so they gave them to me for free. And I haven't been giving away enough of those. There we go. My husband is practicing in his room that way. He had a new opportunity come up that's not a retirement community. This is 1.5 ounces. And so he'll be singing with one of his friends once a month. I think they do 2 hours. So this is his first dipping his toes into the non-retirement community, which is 1 hour. I'm seeing how his health can take that. Okay, so she paid $4.99 and my cost was $4.41, and we are printing. And that was just for the label. How much did she pay for this? I want to say like $22. I had it on, I don't know why, 3 years ago. When I was researching, they looked to be bringing like $29. But then because it sat and sat and sat, and I'm fine with that. It's a small piece. It's not taking up any of my space. But I had a sale. I still have a sale, most likely. Let's see. Let's see if I can find what Carla paid for it. Thank you, Carla. She paid $22.94. Thank you so much. Okay, next up is a butterfly, dragonfly. This sold, so I've been keeping all of my sold items in here. A dragonfly brooch sold to Betty Ann, and she picked this up for $7.50. Making sure it is the correct one. It is. And she is in Connecticut. Very sparkly. Okay, let's see. I know I have boxes and bags. I think this will fit either in this black one or this red one. Oh yeah, the red one is perfect. Put a little bubble wrap so he doesn't fly. She doesn't fly anywhere. That's now extra. And I can continue using, even though it's a dragonfly and not a butterfly, we will continue to use this paper. Some of my friends, one of my best friends, bring her family down to Anna Maria Island. They should get there late tonight. And it's her and her 5 children, and then a couple of her children's friends and partners, boyfriends, girlfriends. And I don't know if her eldest is going to be bringing the baby. So we should be able to see them. We're hoping Friday for ice cream and Tuesday for the beach. We'll see what it looks like. Bear plays Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe, this week. He's got a busy week, but it is usually an hour a day. And we can continue with the gold. It matches. So we try to meet them at the beach for at least one day and then take them out to eat. Possibly we'll bring it back here. Let the kids, the teenagers, see the new house and get ice cream and things. And with how many different spaces we have, sitting rooms and whatever, they can just, you know, go be on their phones while my friends and I catch up. She lives in Pennsylvania, and because she never really knows how many people are coming, they always make the 2 or 3 day drive here and then back up. But she is hoping to live here sometime. Kindness is free. Sprinkle that stuff around like confetti. And other than the cold of Pennsylvania, I would probably head back up there. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. You are enough. And then there's a little pineapple. Just because my husband knows so many people and it's such a different way of life. And now that my menopause, of course, is kicking in, this is the same one. Not that everybody's looking at you. They're looking in your phones type of thing. With us living in such a warm, humid climate, you're really inside or in a pool or in a beach. Basically, if you could get, no, a lot of people cannot do that for work for whatever reasons, but that's what we try to do. And so you have to look at that like this is our winter. You do not want to just be stuck outside because you will get heat stroke. It was the same thing with Pennsylvania and the snow. You did not want to be stuck outside for any length of time because you would just possibly, I mean, go the other way. We don't want hypothermia setting in. So, you know, it gets really hot June, July, August, September, 4 months in here in Florida. But in Pennsylvania, where we were in the Laurel Mountains, it was October, November, December, January, February, and then usually into March. So we had at least an extra month of the weather not being ideal. That is only 2. Did I say what she paid for that? She paid $7.50. I totally understand why people with money have multiple houses, even if it means, you know, like a camp or, you know, something like that, a snowbird, where it gets hot here, you can go up north and visit with everybody, and that would be lovely. My sister is back in Pennsylvania. And October comes, we have 5 days in Pennsylvania in October. Why are you not printing? But with 5 days, I don't know that we'll be able to see her because she's about 4 hours from us. Do something. There we go. Close. We'll wait to see where we are at in October. Thank you, Betty Ann. I hope you love it. I've known this best friend who's coming down for a very long time. I want to say her kids, her twins, were probably about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years old. And now they're in their last year of high school, which is crazy to me. Okay, next up is a piece of clothing. Where did I put the pieces of clothing? Because they're not in here. And I have 2. Ha! This is maybe you saw me thrift this. I am so sorry to the people who asked me to go thrifting and take you. Don't think I'm like sneaking to thrift. I am not thrifting. Bear's health, my mom and Roger right here. We just do more with them if we are all feeling well, and I'm trying to help my mom by photographing and listing her items. And oh, I have 2 pretty big exciting things to share. Nothing that has to do with the thrift store, This is Shanghai hand-drawn work and embroidery, 100% Rami, made in China. I thought I would keep this myself, except I wore it once and then realized when I got to like a doctor's office, it is very see-through. You don't, I mean, first of all, the whole front of it is just kind of see-through, but I had on like a little cami bra, but even this part, I don't know. You'd have to see it like with real lights under it. It's quite see-through. So that was the last time, and I washed it, and it's been sitting here ever since. So how much did I get for this? I don't know. This is headed to Kelly Jo. Hi, Kelly Jo. Click into the order number. I got, nope, order number. Here we are. Kelly Jo, you are in South Carolina. Oh, I've heard of this inlet. $22.94 it looks like. So $23-ish plus shipping. Okay. Let's do this. This is another tissue paper. It is not Gilson Roberts. It is almost just as thick, but it isn't as big as you can see. But the quality is there. And they could put colored ink into it. I think I'm about finished trying to come up with my own way of creating tissue paper and finding factories and sustainable factories and trying to see who could do what I want. Gilson Roberts, unless there's, you know, I don't know, unless something comes up about them that goes against what I believe, we will continue to use them. I do really like this print. Okay, so we could do purple, pink, yellow, orange. Let's do orange curling ribbon. Nope, that's too tiny. Let's do the yellow. So the first thing that came up, well, it's second, but the first thing we'll be discussing, somebody, one of my viewers, hi viewer, wanted to know if I wanted to buy 2,000 pieces of jewelry. Her health, she's not doing so well. I don't have any more information about that. If it's, you know, long-term or if it's just short-term. But she sells on Poshmark and a few other platforms. Let's do, we are like seashells upon a beach, beautiful and unique, each with its own story to tell. And that's the seashell card, and it says, you are enough, you are so enough. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And we will do like the dance like no one is watching, because they're not, they're on their phones. So she said, and I said I had just finished listing over 1,000 pieces of jewelry, and you know, I would need, and I paid about $1 a piece, and the person had already taken all of the photos and the description, which she gave me on a flash drive. Was it perfect? No. Did it take a lot of time to try to find which photo went to which? Absolutely, but at least they were there. I think we're gonna go with this. So I said, I know you're not feeling well right now. Can you give me descriptions, pictures, sterling, costume, vintage, clip-on earrings, any kind of words to help me? She said I could take pictures, and I said, like, individual pictures of 2,000, because that's going to take weeks, if not months. She said, no, just like, you know, all over the place. And I said, oh, that's lovely, but as you and I know, 2,000 pieces, and I'm sure I got this wrong, but basically, she said she has a lot of paparazzi, which I know retails for $5, so they are not going to get me too much of anything. This is $5 25 ounces. And she paid, I think I already told you what she paid. So those aren't, unless I really lot those up. My mom can get about $5 a piece, but shipping is $4.99. So that's quite a bit. That makes, you know, I lose a piece. I lose $1 per piece if I sell it at $5 and paparazzi's selling at $5. So I need to lot them up at like lots of 10 for maybe $20, $15 maybe. So is she going to want to take, you know, a quarter or less? Probably not. So I said, setting that aside, what else do you have? And she said she had Disney. Now Disney is in Claire's, Disney is in Walmart, Disney is everywhere. Anybody, almost anybody can get a license from Disney. So, but there are higher end Disney park stores where some of the pieces sell really well. So I said, do you know if it's like all for Claire's, all, so pick out a few, just a few, and give me a good idea of what Disney means. And then, do you have any sterling, any gold, any, are they mostly necklaces, all new, blah, blah, blah. And she said it's going to take her a little bit, but she will get me a breakdown. So that's good. Because I do like to have things here for just those in-between times. I just finished, it took me like a week and a half to finish painting my bathroom. And we did it with a very flat color, not on purpose, but my mom had leftover paint and we had leftover paint. So I just made it like a really neutral, off-white kind of creamy color. And it was free paint, so I'm not complaining. But like I was doing that in between doing everything else. I need something now that I can pick up, set down, pick up, maybe do 10 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 4 hours, who knows? So I don't know. So maybe that the Disney stuff can be that. Or on the 18th, I think it's the 18th, which is basically next Monday. You'll be seeing this in a couple days, so the Monday coming up. I had helped 2 people now in our community go through items to sell them. One person just wanted to downsize, one person inherited and wanted to, look how pretty this is. It's like a pill case. I don't know if you can see, there's 4 compartments and a mirror. So she passed along my information to another person who passed along my information. So I have now coming up somebody who was on the stock market, and the woman I believe was a pilot. They're now in their 80s, but when they retired in their 60s, they fished for a while, they traveled for a while, and they wanted to open up they decided they wanted to open up some kind of antiques fair or antiques booth or something, store, antique-y. Then 10, 15 years went by, and time does this, as you might know, and now they're at the point where they need a retirement community. Both still very active, but the retirement community has to be closer to where their family is. So they are planning on putting up their home, and they are looking for somebody to go through most, if not all, of their items. They have a lot of items, a lot of boxes, a lot of items, a 2-car garage, an air-conditioned, thankfully, 2-car garage, an air-conditioned unit, like a storage unit, and they told me it was like a 10 by 17, I don't remember. Bear will be with me when we meet them. And they want somebody to go through it so their kids don't have to get a dump and have all of their lovely, they have a lot of crystal, some colored, a lot of glass, and they told me like hazy glass, hazy glass, I do not know glass, hazy's glass, that can't be it, right? No. My mom recognized it, I did not. No. Anyway, a lot of glass, but like boxes upon boxes of glass. So I told them for free, I will come to your house, and they gave me the house. It does look like a nice house, and it's about 10 minutes away. It's not far. And do a free walkthrough, let you meet me, let me meet you, see if we're going to be a good fit, see what the timeline is, see what, you know, your expectations are, because if they want, you know, top dollar for everything, but I don't think they will, then you need to go somewhere else. And I do have a few other people's number. They don't want anybody in and out of their house, so they're not looking to do an estate sale. We're going to do the fruit card, the pink fruit card. I have done, you have done enough to be loved, with the pretty colorful back, and dance like nobody is watching. Now, if they just want me to organize, that will be $25 an hour, and that is fairly cheap in my area, because I'm the one doing most of the work. They're both sitting there. I'm bringing the pieces of glass. I'm using Google Lens to reverse Google to say what things are bringing, then doing a little bit more research, and I'm doing this all while communicating with them. I think I'm going to put a little bit more bubble wrap in here, and seeing if they want to take it, if they want to donate it, if they want to keep it for a family member, or they want me to sell it for them. Now, most people have me sell it for them. They don't need to get rid of their house right now, so I will not have to store all of this stuff in my house right now. So what I'm thinking, if this works, is so much. We're gonna do this. This is a happy paper. Is to take a whole bunch of photos one of the days, bring them back, research them, and then I think we're gonna do 50-50. Normally I don't do, and a 50-50 is after eBay fees, after I keep a 10% income tax. So it's really like 60-40, with 60 coming to me. That's a lot of work, glass, as you might know. I regularly leave glass behind anytime I see it, unless it's like a really uranium glass, some other glasses. It's just not worth it to package for me. It takes me, you know, an hour to package something where I'm making maybe $20. It doesn't make sense. So we'll see. So that is this coming Monday, and then we'll see if the jewelry comes through. If both of those things don't come through, then I will start thrifting again, and I will take you with me. We try to slow down a little bit for the beach and for swimming in the evenings for the summertime. We've always tried to do that. Okay, next up is a ring. Okay, this is a size 7, I believe. Yes, it is gold, but underneath it is sterling silver. It is this circle CZ maybe, with lots of baguettes. Are they baguettes? Nope, they're rounds. So we'll get a little box. This person asked a lot about this. He wanted to know if it was chunky. I said chunky compared to what? like chunky on the hand, chunky on, compared to some of the rings I have, it's very chunky. Compared to some of them, no, not chunky at all. So we played that game there for a little bit, but in the end they did buy them. So this is headed to, oh, I do not know how to pronounce this name. Menu? Bet you it's not that. I'm gonna say menu. And you live in California. It is a really pretty ring. Did I say how much they paid for it? They paid $26.50. We have any little sheets. Just need a little sheet. It's actually going to be too big. I can't believe it's already the beginning of, well, it's almost the middle of, yeah, tomorrow's August 11th. Crazy, crazy, crazy. This year is just flying by. Maybe because I'm feeling a little better. That always happens. When you're sick and just in bed most of the day reading books or watching whatever time and you're hurting, some of you might be able to sympathize, and I know we have a lot of people out there who are hurting, even just here on this channel. Pain slows down the world so much if you're in excruciating pain. Okay. We will do the You Are Enough card. We will do the Stay Close to People Who Feel Like Sunshine card. And we will do If It Costs You Your Mental Health, It Is Too Expensive, which is reversible. And let's go with the green. And I recognize this city in California. So let's be snoopy and snoop around a little bit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking there. Very nice. .4 ounces. Print. We've been to the beach maybe 4 or 5 times now. My husband, my poor husband, about 2 weeks ago. The way he sets up retirement communities, he needs a ton of different pedals and cords, and his iPhone, his pedals, his guitar. If he's using most retirement communities, about half of them have a piano, so he needs to set up around there. And some people roam, some retirement residents roam, and some people do not always watch. They just like treat him like, oh, well, there's an employee in there, there's an adult in there, so we can just like go have lunch. And that's not always, truly, that's not everybody, but sometimes. So my husband keeps his cords fairly close to him so nobody trips, except the other day, about 2 weeks ago. We're done with that. Thank you, Manu. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. He stands up and he's got his one, I forget which, the piano's either that way and the guitar, or vice versa, and somebody's approaching him slowly, but for a resident fairly quickly, and he's realizing the chords are gonna, so he stands up, he trips, and because he's holding his guitar, his beloved guitar that he's taken such good shape of since like the 90s, he puts the guitar out of the way and like holds the person, and then he just falls, like trips. Nothing happened. Well, a little bit happened, but nothing where he needed stitches or to be taken to the hospital or anything. So he's just a little black and blue. Got some rug burn on his lower knee. Some really good shape for how hard. I wasn't there, thankfully, and nobody else got hurt. So that's a good thing. And I'm like, next time, could you just fall on the guitar if you need to fall on the guitar? He's like, I can't do that. I'm like, okay. Next up is a Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, I almost said your last name. This is going to Jennifer. This is a sterling silver chain. It is a short chain. Probably say 16 inches. I'm sure I have it. And then also included is this Monet. It doesn't say sterling silver on the Monet piece. It is a heart paper clip, and it has a little white CZ. So all I did, I made this. I had some extra chains, and I thought this would be really cute on either side. So I think what we're gonna do, one of you told me this years and years and years ago, is to put the chain and just dangle it over the top, and that way it will not snag. It's a pretty thick chain, so I don't think it would have hurt it, but this is a good way to do this. Kind of see it through the other way too. Okay, now we can kind of roll it, fold it into a box. This is headed to Jennifer, and she paid about $23 for it. You're in California as well. I think we're okay with that. Do we think this will fit? I think it will. I really like this paper because it has some of the gold, but it has lots of the colors that are currently sitting in front of me. So now that my bathroom is all painted, we will have the floors come back and use the seam flooring that we put down my husband's bathroom. We have almost a full box left of that, so that's exciting. And we'll need 3 more boxes, and that will be from my bathroom, the entryway, and the washer dryer machine area. Then we have to decide, I'm gonna go with this dark purple, if we want to touch the kitchen. And right now I'm saying probably not. We have linoleum, but it's like the nice hard 1980s linoleum. And what we picked for the bathrooms isn't a perfect match with anything else, but it fits really nice in the bathrooms and the entryway. And then truly, who cares what's in the washer dryer room? But we'll see. We move slowly here with our decisions. I know my mom is in the process of ripping out her, I'm sure she told you, ripping out her, let's do one of these, sea buckthorn facial mask, her kitchen. And I was over there today to drop off some stuff, and she's been sending me photos, and we've been using ChatGPT and telling it like, money's no object, go crazy, here's what she likes. And then we'll like, spend even more money, ChatGPT. And then it'll come up with like crazy ideas that, you know, don't make sense. But it has been a lot of fun. 3 ounces. She paid $4.99. And 12 by 3. And it is $4.80 for me. Somebody said shipping is going up, and I don't know if it's shipping through eBay, shipping through Pirate Ship, USPS, UPS, I don't know. Does anybody know that? Does anybody know? Because I sell a lot of lighter white pieces, as you can tell. So some of these you're like, well, that was almost nothingness. That was, you know, like basically a paper clip on a tiny little chain, and that was $4.80. So I really do. I made 20 cents off of that, but I didn't really. The label alone, and then, you know, all the stuff, the box, the shipping supplies. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's see what's up next. We do have a few things up next. Scroll down and back to shipping labels. That's what we were looking for. Okay, did that. We have 3 more items. We have this, we have that, we have this. This I found at the bins. It's a set of 2, hopefully a set of 2. Either that or Mellissa needs to go get, yeah, a set of 2. These are single stitch, like tourist t-shirts for babies. This one is from St. Thomas. I'm guessing these are probably from the 60s, 70s. And this one's a little bit smaller, I think, than this one. And this one says, my grandma, I'm trying to read this backward, and grandpa went to Hawaii, and all I got was this t-shirt. It is Hanes, made in the USA. Size 6. I can't imagine that's a 6T, but you never know. I don't have children. And this came from my other, pretty sure my other house. So this is also about 2.5 years old. Both had a little bit of staining. And because of how many people watched this and made offers right from the get-go, low offers, I knew to not change the price. So this sold for $44.99. And this would have went, probably at that time, it was about $1.50, $1.60 for clothing. And this is 3 ounces. So I didn't pay much for this. I paid less than 50 cents. So, Sally, let's get your shipping label. And because this is a kid's item, I am going to use the brand new Jungle Faces. I forget what Jason Roberts calls it. You live in California. A lot of California today. Husband and I have been watching food tech from, is it Apple? I don't think so. I think it's a Prime, Amazon Prime. And it's like 15 years it's like how things are made, but with food. Very interesting. Okay. We will do the "You have done enough to be loved" and stay close to people who make you feel like sunshine, and dance like no one is watching, because they're not, they're on their phones. We will do the kiwi fruit mask to match. Do the cherries. Now I'm going to send this out in tomorrow's mail, which is Monday, so they should have it. My mail has been very slow lately, and I've noticed that my mail carrier does not scan in any of the packages, which is not a huge deal. My old mail carrier, who retired maybe a couple months ago, I don't remember, sometime like that, before summer, used to scan all of the packages, and this one doesn't. I wish they would scan at least one package. It's 5 ounces and 12 by 12 by 3. And so sometimes it seems like I didn't send out the item until they eventually scan it wherever they're scanning it. So their cost for shipping was $5.99, and mine is $5.02. So this should maybe get to them by the weekend, next weekend. I had somebody need something for a movie, and then something for, I want to say movie again, but could it be 2 movies? They sent me what they needed for, some kind of production something. And now I'm wondering, I am going to take a peek into my back end, my eBay back end orders. It was a Massimo knit shirt before they went into Target. Okay, all orders. They're like, can you ship this today? I'm like, no problem. I said I would have shipped it sooner, but it was the weekend and blah, 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 blah. Okay, where are you, shirt? I do have a 3-day tracking. Here we go. They needed it by this weekend, and it was delivered, oh, thank goodness, Friday. So that's good. Okay, thanks, Sally. And next, and possibly last, let's see. Go back to shipping label. No, not go back to shipping labels, go back to orders. I think this is the last thing. Nope, we have a watch. This is one of the watches from the consignment, and it is a vintage WITTNAUR silver. I called it silver because that's the color. 10 karat gold filled ladies delicate watch. It is tiny, tiny too. I have about a 6 1/4, and I could make it work, but it would have left indentations. So it was definitely for, and this person messaged me and said, you know, this is probably from the 1930s, and I agreed. She said they didn't have batteries. This is the second person. Within like 3 weeks, I don't sell a lot of watches, but occasionally I get one. She's like, can you just see if you can wind it? And sure enough, I wound it, and I was like, yeah, it works. I should not be able to sell these things. Okay, so let's put this, I don't want to distort the chain. Let's see if this fits in this other box. That's much better in that box. Actually. Much, much better. Plus, this box is so fun for that. There's like some peach, pink, green flowers on it. Okay, do I have some 1930s paper? No, I do not. I do have the classic plaid. these items didn't have to go out until Wednesday, but with my friends coming in, I thought, well, try to get as much done as possible. And that's what we're doing. I shaved my legs. Who am I? That's too tiny. There we go. We need another good show to watch, though. I would watch Lost for like the 17th time, but I get that I was there as well. I get that it's kind of a weird show unless you know. I did hear somebody say Lost, somebody has recreated Lost, I heard through like Reddit, in order, in the actual order that the events went down. And I think I would like to introduce Bear to that. So if you know where that is, Lost, the TV show, is like all out of order. There's a lot of jumping around. So if you know where it is, where the person remade it, by person I mean like aftermarket, somebody sitting in their office, like re-recorded it somehow and put it back in the right order. I think you would like it then. Okay, so that was $4. Did I tell you how much you paid for that? $65. 4. We're good there. $4.99, $4.35. And then this will be the last one. The item I found for free. We were watching Neil Felding. I don't know if that's his name. He was on Taskmaster. I am obsessed with Taskmaster. On YouTube, you can watch it free. And they have a gajillion episodes and a lot of seasons. And essentially, I'm sure I told you this before, it's a puzzle. And you can put together the puzzle, solve the puzzle, like get from here to there in the least amount of time. But then they give you like things along the way. And it's a bunch of comedians doing it. So a lot of the Taskmaster UK was in this. And I don't remember what it was called, but they only had one season of it. And when there's one season, I'm like, do we really want to get involved just for one season? We did not. We did watch it. Like, we did not. But yeah, we did. But then at the end, you just have to remember, like, okay, that's the end of that season. Okay, my neighbor on the way to my mom's house one day, we're coming back from that, or we're coming back from the post office. I can't remember what we're coming back for, but they had it all set up, this really nice like chest entertainment center, TV station-y center, and like in all of the things were things. So there was like a jigsaw, sanding things, sanding paper, sandpaper, brand new, a whole bunch of like brand new mishmashy stuff. But then they had this with like screws and stuff in it, and I knew this would bring money, and it did. It brought it's headed to Savannah in Texas, and it brought $30. Now I think it brought around $22. There must have been it doesn't say here, but I still think it brought about $22, and it sold within like a week or two. So yay me. I'm going to step through the magic door and package this with a whole bunch of like packing peanuts, but not peanuts inside. Okay. There we are. put this in some plastic. I've heard from another eBay seller who I put this out on Instagram, and I was like, look at this. And vintage Winnie the Pooh, which is like 90s, early 2000s, is fairly hot. Any of those classic characters are fairly hot right now. But she mentioned almost all the older Huggies and Pampers, possibly, containers are doing well. So, interesting. Let's use the jungle. If you order the poly mailers, I think I have like 140 pack of poly mailers. They look something like this. This week, if you go to my website, which is, my website doesn't really make any sense, but just go with it. Bloom in Clothing, Bloom in Clothing. I have it in the description notes of every one of these. And look for just the poly mailers. I will give you an extra 30 of the large poly mailers. Do I have the large ones here? So these are like the regular size. We use this all the time. I will give you an extra 30 of the big ones. And that's in addition to the big ones that are already in there. So that starts as soon as this video goes out, and you don't need to do anything just for the next week. And this will end, should I make it? I can't imagine me editing this tonight. So 10th, let's go through the 20th. So if you buy them from now, whenever you're watching this, through the 20th, I will add an extra 30 of those. And those are really nice quality. And then you'll get 100 of this size. You'll get a few small ones. I think actually there's already 30 of the bigger ones, so that would mean you get 60. You get it. Okay, dance like nobody is watching. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And we will do, let's do the You Are Enough one. You are enough, you are so enough, it is unbelievable how enough you are. And let's do a face mask. We are going to put this in one of those larger ones. The quality is very nice on these. Okay, so this is 9 ounces. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nope, not 9 pounds. 9 ounces and 15 and 3. So they paid $6.99 for shipping, and my shipping cost is $5.51. Not bad at all. Okay, print. I had a thought the other day, and on TikTok, some people were selling just all sorts of products, but specifically jewelry. So I wanted to see what you would think about this. Where did my stickers go? I put them over here. Thanks, Savannah. So I brought rings today and my ring thing. Okay. I would obviously be setting this up better, not just, I would make sure all of the rings are in the correct size. But let's say I see this ring, I would have this done. This is a ring size 9, so it's a size 9. I would have better ring things as well, so you could see this, and I can turn the lights on and off and do all of the things. Nope. Something like that. But I would have prices, and I'd be like, this is a size 9. This will be $15 plus shipping. And then we could go live and do it, and I could just keep track of who. This one is marked. I could give you markings. I could give you all of the things. This is 7.5. But what would you think about that? It's like a blue two-tone with a lot of different CZs or rhinestones, gold tone. And I could be like, this is 15. Put claim 15. I don't know. This is gold plated. It is a size 7. It has a dome shape to it. I'm sure I could figure it out. It's a very ridged dome shape. Still shiny at the front, and then a little bit more matted at the back. But we could do rings, we could do, you know, just whatever we wanted to do. Maybe we could try a few different. I have so much jewelry and so much pretty jewelry. And then, you know, for every additional piece, it would be like $1 extra in shipping until you hit, I don't know, like the $10 mark. But I would try to keep the prices really low. You could Venmo me or Zelle or PayPal, friends and family maybe. And I would get them out within 3 days. I would get you the tracking number. We could communicate all of that stuff. I would just need your name. And you would have to send me an email, and then I would have your email address and stuff, and you could tell me where to send it. What do we think about something like that? Maybe not necessarily this week, but in the works. I just thought that might be an interesting idea, since I am feeling slightly better. That is the end of this video. Again, until the 20th, you will be getting 30 extra large mailers. They're not, are they 15 by 19, I want to say, or 15 by 18? They're not like the middle size either. They're the nice big size with every one of those poly mailer packages, which are on my website. I would love to tell you how much they are. I think 35. Bloomin' Clothing. Not Bloomingdale. Bloomin' Clothing. Yes, they are the 140 poly mailer mystery lot, $35. So you'll get the 100 and the 30 and the 10s, and then an extra 30. So instead of 140, it would be 170 for that price. And that includes shipping. So let me know if you're interested in that, or just go ahead and do that. And let me know if you're interested in seeing, maybe we could do rings separately than bracelets, or maybe we can mix everything up and, I don't know, have fun. And I know I would probably be reading like, show me size 9, show me size, so I might need a helper with that. We'll see how Bear is feeling, or perhaps my mom, or maybe I'll just actually wear my glasses. Yeah, that's probably what I would need to do. Okay, have a good night. Take care. Bye.